Hey folks, this is Matt once again, coming at you with another Pierce Brosnan James Bond review. And this one is of Tomorrow Never Dies, which, like I said before in my GoldenEye review, I feel this film's underrated. And I didn't know how much this film got hated on until very recently. So I would put this with License to Kill as, the more underrated James Bond films, to be honest. Now, before I get into that, the film was directed by Roger Spottiswoode, which he's directed some films I liked. Terror Train, which I like Terror Train. Other films he directed were The Best of Times, Shoot to Kill, Turner and Hooch, Air America, Stop Where My Mom Will Shoot, The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Air America. I think I said that. Those are the films he directed. I think he does a good job here. I don't understand why this film gets hated on so much. Because one thing I didn't mention in my GoldenEye review, if you go on IMDb, there's a list that shows, from highest rated James Bond films to lowest rated James Bond films. And the top five, well, I guess the bottom five James Bond films, three of them are Pierce Brosnan movies. Like the lowest rated is Die Another Day with about 6.0. Then I think it's Moonraker, then A View to a Kill, and then The World Is Not Enough, and this film. So of the bottom five, three of them are Pierce Brosnan films. So even though I really enjoy Pierce Brosnan's James Bond, a lot of his films don't get a good rap unless it's GoldenEye. Although there's some that I can understand, which I'll get to that and stuff. Die Another Day, yeah, I can understand that. But this one, no. This gets a 6.4. I don't understand why this kind of gets forgotten or hated on. Even Pierce Brosnan himself kind of took a little piss on the movie, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. This is, right off the bat, one thing is, this is one of the few James Bond films that's under 2 hours. It's under 2 hours. It's an hour and 57 minutes. That's not including credits. I mean, that does include credits, so if you take the end credits, it's like an hour and 55 minutes. This is like one of the shortest James Bond films. That and, well, Quantum of Solace I think is even shorter, but usually James Bond films are over 2 hours. The reason I bring it up is this is a very fast-paced movie. I never got bored of this film. I really enjoy this film. I mean, pretty much you have this guy, Jonathan Pryce, as pretty much an evil Rupert Murdoch. This guy who's really into the media business. The internet, or I should say newspapers and magazines, and again, pretty much what Christopher Walken was doing in A View to a Kill, except instead of microchips, it was the media. And I think that was a good idea. I actually like that idea. I understand that. It's like an evil, well, not again, evil Rupert Murdoch. I buy that. It was a good change of pace from just Soviets again. I mean, they did Soviets in GoldenEye. They did Soviets in The Living Daylights and For Your Eyes Only. In a way, yes, or a little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is with that. I think Jonathan Pryce does a good job. Like when he's making fun of Michelle Yeoh's pathetic, He gets a good death scene as well. And this film has really good action sequences. Pierce Brosnan, I'm a big fan of him as James Bond. You have Michelle Yeoh, who is great. You have Terry Hatcher in the first half of the film, and I think she does a good enough job. Not a big fan of the song, the credit song by Sheryl Crow. I'm not really a big fan of it, but that's like a little nitpick. Starts off well. I mean, you have this arms deal at the Russian border, and these guys are going to bomb it, but then James Bond shows that there's these missiles that if their missiles hit it, it's going to create a big clusterfuck. And so James Bond gets in there and kills a bunch of motherfuckers, fucks everybody up, gets in that damn airplane, just blowing the shit out of the whole airfield. and is getting the plane up, and then some guy's trying to fucking choke his ass, and then there's a plane chasing his ass, so he maneuvers it, hits the fucking ejector seat, so the guy flies off into the other airplane and fucks both up at the same time, and he gets away. I'm like, that's a great way to open a movie. That's a fun opening credit sequence. And then basically it starts out where you have this basically what the bad guy wants to do is he wants the UK and China to go to war, and they'll sell a lot of media. I mean, it's a big media thing. It's kind of like Christopher Walken, wanting to do, and hell, even you could say the fucking Spy Who Loved Me. Bad guys, Moonraker, like bad guys want to fuck up people for their own rewards. Here, it's dealing with the media, which I thought worked fine. And so he sends like this UK boat, forget the name of the ship, into Chinese waters, but they don't realize it because Jonathan Pryce, his characters at Carver and them have fucked up their coordinates, and they fuck that shit up, and they also fuck up a Chinese jet fighter plane to try to create conflict between the two. And actually, what's weird is if you watch, there's a teeny tiny role, but with Gerard Butler, like on the UK ship, he's the guy that says like 14 seconds. Like if you look it up, Tomorrow Never Dies, Gerard Butler, you'll see he has like a teeny role. Like he says a couple lines like in the background. I'm like, holy shit, Gerard Butler. Yeah, it's like, wow, you've come a long way. Then after that, you have the Q, Desmond Llewellyn. And really great. Love this gadget where, first off, it's like a cell phone that kind of like a badass taser. But it turns into, you have this control that he can control the car almost like a gamepad in a way. I thought that was really cool. It gets a really exciting action sequence. And this film goes at a fast pace. Like, boom, he's right at this party, meets Terry Hatcher, who he had a fling with him before. He gets in this little fight with these guys, seduces Terry Hatcher, and he goes to Carver's place. And then there's a gunfight battle because you find out Michelle Yeoh's there, and you find out that she's a Chinese spy, trying to want the same thing that James Bond wants. And like James Bond getting this fight over these paper presses and throws a guy down there, and you see like fucking blood, like these newspapers churn out with blood on them. Thought that was kind of cool. Steve goes to this hotel and he finds Terry Hatcher dead. I'm like, okay, yeah, a little bit of emotional part to that. And this guy, Vincent Schiavelli, I think that's his name. I've seen him in a bunch of films. When you see this guy, it's like, I recognize that guy. Vincent Schiavelli. I think that's his name. Plays his character, Dr. Kaufman, is ready to kill him. Tricks his ass. I love like James Bond's badass. I'm a professional. I was doing something about it. I'm just a professional doing what I'm supposed to do, whatever. It's like, so am I. Boom, shoots him right in the fucking face. I'm like, again, James Bond badass. Motherfucker deserved it. Killed his Poontang Pie. Fucking Terry Hatcher. And yeah, really fun action sequence where he gets into his car in the backseat, he's able to control the car. Just shooting fucking missiles, getting at least tacks behind him to fuck up the bad guy's wheels. Just going left and right throughout this garage, blowing shit up left and right. Just really badass action sequence. So he gets out and makes it that the car flies off the garage into like a store down below. And again, this film goes at a fast pace. It doesn't let up. One thing leads to another, and he finds out where the sunken ship at the beginning might be. And another little cameo. One of the guys helping James Bond with his parachute is fucking Apone himself. Sergeant Apone from Aliens. Al Matthews. He's bald, but it's like, oh, it's fucking Apone. From Aliens. Al Matthews. I think that's the actor's name, Al Matthews, I believe. I think that's his name. But, oh shit, I know him. Fucking Apone. So it was like cool to see him. And he goes down there and he's in this wreck, and that's where he meets Michelle Yeoh. And they got out there because the thing's going to sink all the way down. They get captured. And then you have fun action scene where they escape and they both jump off the building. They hang on to this banner and they're going down the building. Well shot sequence. And then you get a fantastic motorcycle chase where they're both handcuffed and they both have to sort of get on the motorcycle a certain way. They're being chased from the bad guys left to right to the point where they jump over a fucking helicopter. And then they gotta play chicken with the helicopter, and the helicopter's like he's got his blades down. Kind of like what they did later in, Planet Terror and 20 Weeks Later. And of course, people make fun of this. Oh, that's unrealistic. Okay, it's fucking James Bond. Come on now. And I don't see you bitching about that in 28 Weeks Later and fucking Planet Terror when they did it. But fuck Tomorrow Never Dies. It did that shit with the airplane, like the helicopter propellers are down and cutting shit up. They did shit later, 20 weeks later, fucking. They stole it from Tomorrow Never Dies. Maybe there was another film they did before this, but I can't remember, can't think of one. But I know this did it before 20 Weeks Later and fucking Planet Terror. And it's really bad. It's like they go under the fucking helicopter barely. James Bond did something, fucks up the helicopter blades. Well done, a lot of good practical stuff, stunt work. Just really exciting action sequence. I really enjoy it. And then your Michelle Yeoh gets away and gets in a little fight with some baddies. They find out where Carver's Jonathan Pryce's stealth ship is at, and then you get a big action scene in the finale where, like at one point James Bond, like I forget what the hell it's called. It's something with this thing where it has like a bunch of missiles, and he uses it and programs it just shooting fucking missiles. Michelle Yeoh even one time throws a fucking ninja star in someone's neck. Uh, he does a bad guy gets a good comeuppance where, Pierce Brosnan's like, you forgot the first rule. Give the people what they want, and shoves them right into this fucking like giant metal drill that just. It's PG-13. They can't show much, but you get the picture that obliterates his ass and everything else around him. And then James Bond gets in this little fight with this guy where these missiles are at and has to get down before everything blows up and saves Michelle Yeoh, who's drowning. They kiss so she can get some air. And then the movie ends. I'm like, wow, it's under 2 hours. Fantastic action scenes like the motorcycle chase sequence or the controlling the car by the telephone in a way in the back seat. Michelle Yeoh, I really like Michelle Yeoh. I think she does fine here. Yes, she's had better action sequences like in Super Cop and among other films, but this is a James Bond film. James Bond's center stage. But I think Michelle Yeoh's good. She's good in the acting department. The little bits of action she has, she does fine. Terry Hatcher is fine. I like Jonathan Pryce. I think he does a good job. He's supposed to be an insane, psychotic guy, so that's the point. Even James Bond's like, you doing this just for ratings? Even James Bond, spits that out. So it's not like they don't know. But I don't understand why this film gets hated on. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's fast-paced. Michelle Yeoh's good. The bad guy, he's still with the media. I could relate to it because we know that the media likes to lie and likes to fuck people up. Hell, look at what happened to Michael Jackson. You had one fucking kid say, oh, he touched me, and then everybody believed it. Then what happened? Michael Jackson dies, and then the little fucker's like, oh, by the way, I lied. Because my father told me to. Great! Thank God you fucking tell him after Michael Jackson's dead. Granted, that's not 100% the media, but the media really pushed it. He did it. And it's like, well, lo and behold, he didn't fucking do it. Now he's dead. Because a little fucker lied because his dad's. And then this dad, oh shit, he told, and the fucking dad killed himself. Because it was the truth. And it's like, So that's a little like it's not the same. I know it's not, the plot's not the same, but you know the media, how they do shit. It's something I could relate to, not relate to, but I can understand. And this is a great film. This should not be in the 5 lowest rated James Bond flicks. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed Tomorrow Dies, Never Dies. That's me. So thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later.